Right. He identified all the different species, gave them a name, and then made sure that he got the type of each plant and animal and everything that he did. So that he built up a vast collection of all these animals and plants and leaves and all the rest of it, and all the insects, and he put them all in their families and their genuses and labelled them as a species. And if anyone then came along and said, I've got this, what is it? He could go, well, it's got six legs, it's got 3 body parts, so it's an insect, it's got all the characteristics of a beetle. I'll look in my beetle tray and go, oh, it's one of those, because you can then match them up, as well as having a written description. Or we go, oh, I haven't got one of those, you've just discovered a new species. So it's a massive, great big collection that everyone who wanted to name anything could go and do. And that was in Stockholm. But unfortunately, he died, and he left everything to his wife. And a British person went up to him, and I've got his name, and said, what are you doing with that vast collection? Because I'll buy it for a vast sum of money. And she said, fair dues. And sold to a British bloke the entire collection of this. He packed it on board a ship and started sailing it back to London. When news got out to the Swedish royal family, they actually spent part of the Swedish Navy after we spoke to try and bring it back. It landed in London. The bloke took really good care of it, and when he died, he bequeathed it to a nation, and that was the beginning and the start of a British Natural History Museum. So you can go to the British Natural History Museum and actually get insects and things and stuffed animals that have been done and labelled by Carl Linnaeus. And it's just like there, and it's magic.
So what did you see on your ride today that you would have asked him about?
There's some very pretty, very small, tiny white flowers that I wasn't too sure about, and some quite interesting mosses, but we won't go into that. But yeah, because he did all of those as well. He did mosses and everything, all dried up and in their little envelopes. And I've discovered a new moss. No, you haven't, because I've got one just like that. This one, and it is called and I know. So it's one of, and I think there's one in New York, and I think there's one somewhere else. But there's like 3 places in the entire world that have got this collection. So if you get anything, you don't know what it is, you can go up to the Natural History Museum, and they're just like trays and trays of beetles and ants and everything, and you've got one of each, and it's just like brilliant.